Tax returns under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or just want to know your options, business or personal, Republic Tax Relief's A-plus rated tax relief system has helped thousands stop IRS collections immediately and save millions in tax debt. These relief programs will not last forever. Call the hotline number now, 800-501-7110. That's 800-501-7110. Check your eligibility for tax debt savings today. Call 800-501-7110. That's 800-501-7110.
WINS News Time, 2:59.
WINS, WINS-HD, WNAW-HD, New York.
A radio.com station. 10 WINS AccuWeather, a comfortable evening ahead. It gets cloudy later tonight with the low down to 45. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with rain beginning during the afternoon with a high of 52 and then rain at times tomorrow night, the low down to 45. For the rest of your weekend, on Sunday, cloudy, breezy with showers, but a little bit milder with a high of 56. And then Monday, back to the nice weather, mild too with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 62 for Monday. Tuesday, some sun, then increasing clouds with a high of 55. Lots of sunshine right now and 67 degrees. More people get their news from 1010 WINS and from any other radio station in the nation. Kyle McMorrow is our service aide. Walter Geis is our writer. Justin Traeger at the editor's desk, and I'm Bridget Quinn.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 WINS. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 67 degrees at 3 o'clock. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. Coronavirus deaths in New York State total more than 500 now, with 5,000 new diagnoses since yesterday. In New Jersey, 27 more people have died, bringing the total there to 108. A subway operator dies in a fire on a number 2 train in Harlem.
What we do know is that the motorman of that train was found on the tracks, and he was pronounced deceased.
Several other people were hurt. The House follows the Senate in approving the coronavirus relief package. 1010 WINS AccuWeather, partly sunny, a high today, 65. We'll see some rain tomorrow.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. So much for the string of rallies for Wall Street. As traders get a fuller economic picture, they're back to selling. Right now, the Dow losing 521.
WINS News Time, 3:01. From the 1010 WINS Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
Now we go to the eastbound Cross Bronx, getting over to Arthur Avenue, where only the right lane goes. You got a couple of accidents in the same area, so only one lane stays open on the eastbound Cross Bronx over near 3rd Avenue. Getting over towards Arthur Avenue westbound, everybody says, look at that. And they slow down from the Bronx River Parkway. The choice is clear. It's the Bruckner-Deegan combo. Either way through the Bronx, that just does better. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, and that is still not a whole lot. In and out of the city, you're fine across the Hudson. No issues on the East River yet at this hour. Subway issues, yeah, we've got those because of the overnight fire you've been hearing about here on 1010 WINS. The 2 trains, they mainly stay in the Bronx between 241st Street and 180th Street. 3 trains north of 96, they're on the 1 track either way in Manhattan. And the 3 trains, they go local from 42nd Street on up. 1 and 3 trains, they both skip 86 and 96. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least Tuesday. You don't have to move the car within city limits until April. Traffic sponsored by Plaza Jewish Community Chapel. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 WINS.
We at Plaza Jewish Community Chapel would like to remind you that candlelighting is at 6:58 this evening. Good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom.
More than 5,000 new cases of coronavirus were confirmed in New York State from yesterday to today, and that brings the total to more than 44,000. And deaths are up to 519. Those stats were revealed today by Governor Cuomo in his daily briefing.
Governor Cuomo says despite the already high numbers, the worst is yet to come.
But now we're looking at about 21 days for a possible apex. So we want to do everything we can to be ready.
He says the state will most likely need 140,000 hospital beds. There's currently 53,000. So in addition to the 1,000 beds completed here at the Javits Center and 3 other downstate field hospitals, the governor is asking President Trump to approve 4 more just for the boroughs, commending the National Guard for working so hard in the effort to build them.
So I say, my friends, that we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass.
Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins at the Javits Center.
Mayor de Blasio was a guest today on ABC's Good Morning America. He said New York City needs to be prepared for the long haul.
The truth is, we have, again, the supplies for this week and next. We got to make sure every hospital is getting them to their extraordinary, heroic medical personnel, the nurses, doctors, everyone in those hospitals, because the supplies are here. We got to make sure everyone gets them when they need them. But again, not too long from now, I may not be able to say that.
He says 40 more ventilators were sent to hard-hit Elmhurst Hospital in Queens yesterday, along with 56 additional medical personnel. The mayor predicts the outbreak will remain at crisis level through April and May, and he says the president does Americans no good by giving them false hope that the country will be able to reopen by Easter. The operator of a subway train was killed this morning in a fire. It happened on an Uptown 2 train in Harlem at 110th Street and Lenox Hill Avenue station. The motorman was found on the tracks. More than a dozen people were hurt. 4 are hospitalized in critical condition, 1 listed as serious. NYPD Detective Brian McGee says the cause of the fire remains under investigation, and it may have been deliberately set.
Right now, we're investigating several things. There were other fires that we're looking at that we have to see is connected to this on 86th Street and 96th Street within the transit system. We're looking at that. We're also looking at a fire on 116th Street as we speak.
The Transit Workers Union has identified the train operator as 36-year-old Garrett Gopel. Checking AccuWeather, increasing clouds late tonight, a low 45. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Rain begins in the afternoon, a high 52. 67 now, skies are mostly sunny. Humidity 24%, repeating the current temperature 67. We're heading down to 45. Winds news time 3:05. The police commissioner says more officers called out sick today, but so far the NYPD has been able to cover the shifts.
Police Commissioner Dermot Shea is dealing with increasing illness in the department. He told Fox News over 550 are confirmed COVID-19 cases.
We have over 4,000, as I sit here right now, over 4,000 members out sick. Most of them with the same symptoms of some degree. Not all of them have been tested. It depends on the severity of the illness.
He says officers on the front lines are given masks, gloves, and sanitizers, but have the option of wearing them. He says they've been responding to all kinds of emergencies, many of them involving sick people. He says they're also helping out the elderly and those homebound, bringing them groceries or supplies they need. Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins News.
The Daily News reports the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterintelligence, John Miller, has been hospitalized with coronavirus symptoms. The death toll from the virus in New Jersey is now 108. Governor Murphy announced this afternoon that 27 more New Jersey residents have died since yesterday. He says New Jersey is continuing to beef up its testing protocol. Only those with symptoms should be tested. And he went over some of the new schedules at 2 state testing centers.
On Sunday, March 29th, the day after tomorrow, only the Bergen Community College site will be open, and it will be able to test 500 people starting at 8 a.m., 500 symptomatic people starting at 8 a.m. And then on Monday, March 30th, only the PNC Bank Arts Center site will be open, again at 8 a.m. for 500 tests for folks who are symptomatic.
Tomorrow, both those sites are reserved for testing of healthcare workers and first responders who are experiencing symptoms. Murphy says he's been talking with lenders and hopes to make an announcement tomorrow regarding mortgage payments that are coming due next week. Wins News Time 3:08.
A quorum is present. The motion is adopted.
The theme in the House today is representatives approved a $2 trillion coronavirus relief package. The stimulus bill now heads to the desk of President Trump, who will sign it. The bill will deliver direct payments and jobless benefits to individual Americans. There's money for states and a huge bailout for the businesses most affected by the virus. It's the largest emergency aid package in U.S. history. In London, Prime Minister Boris Johnson shared news today that he's tested positive for coronavirus and is self-isolating.
Be in no doubt that I can continue, thanks to the wizardry of modern technology, to communicate with all my top team to lead the national fight back against coronavirus.
Correspondent Nick Robertson says the UK's health secretary has also tested positive.
The government here knows this has been a possibility. There have obviously been discussions in the background about what to do if somebody in a leadership position becomes incapacitated. The government's not talking about that right now. Officials are saying that people can continue to work from Downing Street. No additional people working there will require testing unless they show to have symptoms in the coming days.
There are 11,816 viral cases in the UK with 580 deaths. Wins News Time 3:09. Do you or someone you love use heroin or prescription painkillers? Do you find yourself using just so you don't get sick? Are you thinking about quitting or cutting down? Do you want to quit using opiates for your health, for a better job, or more money in your wallet? Have you tried to stop on your own but failed? If you or a family member does not know where to turn for help, listen closely. You can cut down or quit using heroin or prescription painkillers completely. Research treatment studies at Columbia University Medical Center are offering free, confidential detoxification and follow-up treatment for heroin and prescription pain medicine use and other drug problems. When you're in the program, you'll receive free medical and psychological evaluation, outpatient treatment visits, and they will even cover your transportation costs. They're conveniently located in Midtown Manhattan at Columbus Circle near 5 New York City subway lines. Let them help you break the cycle for a better life. Call 212-923-3031 and make an appointment for a free evaluation. 212-923-3031. 212-923-3031. Wednesday News Time 3:10. Traffic and AccuWeather in a minute.
New York City has been losing out on our fair share of billions of dollars for schools, hospitals, roads, bridges, and more, because only 62% of New Yorkers self-responded to the 2010 census. This is about power, money, and representation, and you deserve 100%. This year, starting March 12, visit my2020census.gov to fill out the census. And remember, by law, your responses are completely confidential. The 2020 census. It's easy, safe, and important. Call 311 and say census to learn more.
Twins News Time 3:11. From the Mavis Discount Tire Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
Now, big issues on the Cross Bronx in the 3 o'clock hour on a Friday. Kind of brings you back. Eastbound side of the Cross Bronx getting out towards the Sheridan. Only the right lane moves, all because of a bad accident involving an 18-wheeler. You're slow from right off of the George. Westbound side also a bit slow getting into the area. Bruckner-Deegan combo either way is just going to treat you a whole lot better getting through the Bronx. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The Westchester-bound Mario Cuomo Bridge, you have at least one lane shut down because of a debris spill. Rockland-bound Mario Cuomo, that is fine. Hudson River crossings in and out of the city, they behave, as does everything across the East River. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday. Earliest you'd have to move the car within the 5 boroughs is April. Traffic is sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Buying a car with your tax refund stop. Don't get ripped off by wasting your refund, paying huge dealer fees at Major World. You'll only pay $75 in dealer fees. Major World, just straight up honest pricing. Visit MajorWorld.com or call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson with a live report.
Well, Larry, it's been a beautiful afternoon. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures getting well into the 60s. It's going to be pretty comfortable into this evening. Then clouds will be back on the increase later tonight, a low down to 45. And tomorrow is certainly going to be a cloudier day. It'll also be noticeably chillier than today, with rain arriving during the afternoon, a high of 52. May start a little bit earlier across New Jersey. Rain will continue into tomorrow night, a low down to 45. There will be some showers on Sunday. Now, it won't be quite the steady rain that we'll have tomorrow and tomorrow night. There will be a lot of breaks in the action on Sunday with a high of 56. The breeze will pick up too. A milder day Monday with sun and clouds, high 62, and some sun gives way to clouds on Tuesday, high 55. Right now we have a sunny sky at 67 in Central Park. Humidity just 22%. Wind is out of the northeast at 7. Again, we're at 67 and going down to 45 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Web.
Winds News Time 3:13.
It's happening. Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading
HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll. More companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner, from small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
She became overweight, stinky, several vertebrae fused together. So she was going to be euthanized. DINOVITE.com. I remember Sophie starting the Dynavite. She has loved it. She is no longer stinky. She is full of life. Dynavite is nutrition. Get them on Dynavite right away while they're healthy.
How happy your dog will
I
be.
get my Dynavite from DINOVITE.com.
Losing a loved one is hard, especially in tough economic times. Grace Funeral Chapels is here for all your memorial needs. Grace Funeral Chapels has options to meet almost any financial situation. Call 718-235-8088 and let their caring staff help you during this most difficult time. Grace Funeral Chapels is located at 607 North Conduit Boulevard on the Brooklyn-Queens border, just minutes from JFK. Grace Funeral Chapels, because you deserve the best.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
I think I've turned a corner in not having so much fatigue. That was my initial problem, was I was just tired all the time. So I think it's helping me with that. I think it's a whole lot better as a supplement than a lot of other products. Basically, you heal from the cellular level up. That's why nutrition is so important. Having whole foods is very important for health. I really think that it's been helping me overall.
Don't wait to see what getting over 10 servings of whole fruits and vegetables every day can do for you. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order of fruits and veggies. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code NEWS.
Wednesday News Time 3:16. Apple is offering an app to help in the battle against coronavirus. The COVID-19 app provides a screening tool for virus symptoms, along with up-to-date trusted information on the outbreak. It was developed in partnership with FEMA, the Centers for Disease Control, and the White House-led Coronavirus Task Force. Virus cases are skyrocketing in Louisiana.
A growing theory for the rapid spread is last month's Mardi Gras celebration in New Orleans, taking place weeks before the governor issued a stay-at-home order. The first confirmed case of COVID-19 in the state was from an individual who tested positive in the New Orleans area 13 days after the end of the iconic party, which draws thousands from all over the world. Officials say they believe the patient contracted the virus locally.
There are more than 2,300 cases with many deaths. Louisiana health officials say they're monitoring clusters at 6 nursing homes, and one home has reported 11 deaths. They say New Orleans is the center of the outbreak in the state, and there are critical shortages of ventilators and protective equipment. Saints quarterback Drew Brees and his wife Brittany are donating $5 million to Louisiana to help it deal with the virus. He appeared on ABC's Good Morning America.
Just the fact that you have so many people out there who have lost their jobs, at least for the time being, and especially when you look at the state of Louisiana. I mean, we are a small business state. We are a hospitality state, and so those are the industries that really have been hit the hardest.
Breeze is also working with companies, including Jimmy John's, to donate 10,000 meals per day to children and seniors in need. Some companies are turning over their production lines to address shortages in medical supplies. Fanatics is one of those companies. It makes uniforms for Major League Baseball. Executive Chairman Michael Rubin says team jersey production has been suspended, and the company is now producing polyester mesh fabric to make masks and gowns for hospitals in Pennsylvania and nearby states. Nassau County Executive Laura Curran is applauding officials in Long Beach for closing the boardwalk.
Not an easy decision, but that's how we flatten the curve. Human beings are social animals. That is how we have survived through the millennia and thrived. That is how we're built. That's in our DNA.
Social creatures being told to isolate socially is not easy.
The Long Beach Boardwalk will remain closed until further notice. Gates are now up from New York to Neptune Avenues, but the beach is open and people are reminded to practice social distancing. Wednesday News Time, 3:19.
If you like pina colada,
Spilled your pina colada? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker. And is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to getting caught in the rain. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
For the ones who forge metal, and those with nerves of steel. For the ones who burn the midnight oil, and the ones who rise with the sun. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, with over 250 local branches and a team of specialists available 24/7 to help you solve any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you'd like to give a shout-out to an essential worker by name or by group, call us at 855-475-1010, and we'll get it on the air. Stay connected and say thank you to our essential workers at 855-475-1010.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 67 degrees at 3:20. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. Governor Cuomo says he doesn't expect the increase in daily coronavirus cases to peak for another 3 weeks.
This is an invisible beast. It is an insidious beast.
New Jersey records 27 more coronavirus deaths. New York adds 53. Fire underground kills a subway operator on a number 2 train in Harlem. All that's left now is for President Trump to sign it, and coronavirus relief checks will be on the way. 1010 Winds, AccuWeather, partly sunny this afternoon, up to 67 where we are now. And then we'll see some clouds come in tonight and rain tomorrow.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. Stocks rose on hope for the stimulus bill. Now that we have it, the Dow is down 370 as jobs are cut across a host of industries. 2 big banks pledge no cuts.
Wednesday News Time, 3:21. From the 1010 Winds Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
We go to the Bronx. This is the eastbound side of the Cross Bronx getting out towards the area of 3rd Avenue. Looks like you still have at least the left lane shut down getting through this area. So you're slow from right off of the George. And westbound side also really starting to crawl from the Bronx River Parkway past this and all the way on out towards the George Washington Bridge. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George is fine. No issue with the Lincoln or Harlem. The FDR Drive ramp looks like this is from the southbound FDR Drive coming down to the Brooklyn-bound Brooklyn Bridge. There is a breakdown on that ramp, knocking out one lane. Just bail off at the Manhattan or Williamsburg. They are much better Brooklyn-bound at this point. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday. Earliest you'd have to move the car in the 5 boroughs is April because of last night's fire. You've got the 3 trains on the 1 track north of 96th either way. You've got the 2 trains only running in a small section of the Bronx between 241st Street and East 180th Street. Traffic sponsored by Stu Leonard's. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
Hi, I'm Stu, and our family's food and wine stores are open 7 days a week, including our new store in
4:35. And President Trump has signed the $2.2 trillion stimulus bill to provide payments to most Americans during this pandemic. We will be speaking to Bloomberg's Ann Edgerton coming up in 10 minutes about what the stimulus could mean for you. Wins News Time 4:35. Police say this morning's deadly subway fire in Manhattan was a crime, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward.
Train to the 100th Street station just after 3 in the morning.
Train stopped, and many people got off because there was a large fire on that train.
NYPD Deputy Chief Brian McGee says the fire gutted the second car.
What we do know is that the motorman of that train was found on it.
36-year-old Garrett Goebel collapsed trying to evacuate passengers. He died a short while later at Mount Sinai Hospital. Chief McGee says there were
Nickelodeon Town Hall on coronavirus. The hour-long special will address kids' questions and concerns and feature medical experts. Alicia Keys will perform Kids Together. The Nickelodeon Town Hall will simulcast across numerous platforms, including Nickelodeon, TeenNick, and Nickelodeon YouTube, and is set to air Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. The BTS shows at MetLife Stadium being rescheduled. The K-pop band postponing its upcoming North American tour dates, including the May 23rd and 24th shows at MetLife Stadium. New dates have not yet been announced, but your tickets will be honored. Wins News Time, 4:39.
Yes, traffic center. Craig Allen's forecast calls for the rest of the afternoon. Then tonight, cooling down under a partly cloudy sky with lows in the 40s. Tomorrow, early sun give way to clouds. We'll see rain developing mid to late afternoon. The high tomorrow, 50. Continue into Sunday. We'll operate in drizzle. Sunday's high also near 55 degrees. Right now, it is nice and warm across much of the tri-state. 64 in Wisconsin. It is 69 in Bayonne. We are at 68 degrees sunny here in Hudson Square. The FDA has issued an emergency order saying hospitals can repurpose medical equipment to serve as ventilators. The list includes sleep apnea machines and anesthesia machines. New York has been testing the idea of splitting one ventilator between two patients.
An investigation at a Seattle area nursing home has found COVID-19 symptoms are
And in the house, and we'll get through this together. Tell your iPhone and smart devices to play 1010 Wins.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 68 degrees at 4:40. I'm Lori Madden, and here's what's happening. The Javits Center is ready to roll come Monday.
I say, my friends, that we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass.
Governor Cuomo applauding the National Guard, FEMA, and the Army Corps of Engineers for turning the convention center into a field hospital. The governor says with the number of COVID-19 cases nearing 45,000, he'll ask the president for approval to build 4 more hospitals in the other boroughs. President Trump has signed the $2.2 trillion stimulus package. We will speak to Bloomberg's Ann Edgerton in just a few moments about what you can expect. Goodbye Sailor, the U.S. Navy cancels New York Fleet Week. With Beatle fans staying home, Abbey Road gets a fresh coat of paint. 1010 Winds AccuWeather says increasing clouds later tonight, low 45. Cloudy and breezy this weekend with some showers and temperatures in the low 50s.
This is Andrew O'Day at Bloomberg. Passage of the massive stimulus bill was correctly predicted by Wall Street with its gains this week, so no gains left for today. The Dow loses 915.
Winds News Time 441. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Lori, the westbound Cross Bronx is as backed up as we have seen it in 2 weeks. You just don't move from Westchester Avenue to the George, but there's got to be a reason for that these days, and that is emergency construction on the outbound upper level underneath the apartments. That has the right lane knocked out, so a very slow go as a result through the area. The Bruckner-Deegan, that'll do it a whole lot better for you at this point. Inbound George is just fine, no issues at the Lincoln or Holland. East side of town, northbound FDR Drive, getting up to the Queensboro Bridge, a wreck knocks out a lane. The avenues or the west side, they will do it better for you. A little north of the city, we're going to go to Yonkers, and you got the Sawmill River Parkway north or southbound. You form McLean Avenue subject to closure. Northbound, also subject to closure. Getting into that area, that is the Sawmill River Parkway and McLean Avenue in Yonkers. Alternate side of the city, suspended through at least next Tuesday. Earliest you'd have to move the car within city limits is April. You already know the VW and Z subways remain parked in the lot because of low ridership. Because of last night's train fire in Harlem, the 2 trains remain confined to a small section of the Bronx. The 3 trains are on the 1 track either way north of 96th Street. The 3 trains are local from 42nd on up, and the 1 and 3 trains both skipping 86th and 96th. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
Governor Cuomo says the number of coronavirus cases in New York is nearing 45,000, with 134 people dying in the last 24 hours. There are now 519 deaths statewide. The governor was at the Javits Center today and applauded the National Guard, healthcare workers, and others on the front lines who had that field hospital set up in just days.
The governor touted that the state is testing more people per capita than anywhere in the country, and while infections are increasing, hospitalizations aren't accelerating.
There is good news in that the rate of the increase is slow.
But he says with the surge expected in 21 days, New York needs 140,000 hospital beds, 1,000 now complete at the Javits Center, with 3,000 more to come at 3 other downstate sites built by the National Guard.
In 1 week, creating a hospital is just incredible. I don't know how you did it. Now, you did such a good job that I'm asking for 4 more.
The governor says he will ask the president for approval to get started on those 4 hospitals so each borough has one. Samantha Liepman, 1010 Winds at the Javits Center.
Winds News Time 444. The number of coronavirus cases here in the city is now more than 25,000. Mayor de Blasio says many construction sites will be shut down after the city received complaints about worker safety. He also says it's too early to say when schools will reopen. They're shooting for April 20th, but he calls that a tough goal right now. Today was a beautiful sunny day, and some of you may have gone out for some fresh air. The mayor, though, continues to send up the warning about getting too close to others. He made his point on his weekly Ask the Mayor show on WNYC.
You know, the next step, of course, would be to up the ante and bring penalties into play if we have to do that. And that may just be days away if we don't see people handle it better.
By social distancing rules, he will be forced to shut down playgrounds. Just moments ago, President Trump signed the $2.2 trillion stimulus package, which means you might be getting a check
And if you're about to file for unemployment, you might be receiving more in the way of benefits. Joining us live now on 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com to break this all down on just what the stimulus could mean for you is Bloomberg's Ann Edgerton. Ann, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Glad to be here.
Let's start with the immediate. Who will be getting these checks and for how much? And is there anything our listeners have to do in order to get these checks?
So there are a few different aspects to this really massive package that the president signed into law just a few minutes ago. For the direct payments to individuals, that'll be $1,200 to adults and $500 to children for any individual making less than $99,000 or couples making less than $198,000. That's one aspect of the bill. The other aspect is the unemployment insurance, the unemployment benefits that you mentioned, and that would be an extra $600 per week per worker who's unemployed through July 31st. Now, July 31st is a cutoff, so if a person loses their job this week, next week, they'll get that benefit through July. If the person loses their job closer to June or July, they would only get that benefit through July 31st.
And can you clarify for us, if you know, about who receives these checks? I think it's only people with Social Security numbers, right? If you have a tax ID number, you don't get it? Or is that not the case?
That's right. Well, the Treasury Department has 10 days to clarify the guidelines for this, to issue the regulations. So any taxpayer will get this money, and it's going to be different depending on the speed with which these checks go out will be different depending on how much information the IRS already has about you. For example, there are people who already receive checks from the government every month, like Social Security or veterans benefits, will get this money faster because the IRS already has, the government already has a way to send out this money. For people who didn't file tax returns in 2018 or 2019, those checks will take a little bit longer to go out.
And will those checks be based on the previous tax returns then? If it's based on income, if you haven't filed this year yet?
If you've already filed them for this year for your 2019 taxes, it would be based on that. If you haven't filed yet, it would be based on your 2018 taxes filed in 2019. Now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has given taxpayers until July 15th to file and pay their taxes. So there are going to be more people who haven't filed their taxes by April this year than there usually would be.
You brought up disability a moment ago. People receiving disability or Social Security checks, they will be getting checks on top of their regular benefit payments, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, let's get into unemployment now, this extended unemployment. What if you're already on unemployment? That's about to run out. Can you apply again under the stimulus?
So if you are already on unemployment, this would be an extra $600 on top of the state limit for unemployment checks. So, for example, in some states, the unemployment benefit might be $235 per week. So this would increase that by another $600. It would be increased by the same amount regardless of what the state's current level of unemployment disbursement is. So if your unemployment goes until July 31st, you would be able to get this extra benefit.
Speaking with us live now, Ann Edgerton from Bloomberg, answering all of our stimulus package questions for us. Very helpful. And let's get into small businesses in New York. Maybe you're a restaurant owner in Queens or a corner shop owner in the Bronx. What kind of loans and or grants can they expect?
There's about $350 billion in this package for small businesses, and those will be loans to help get these companies through the next few weeks or months when their revenue is pretty much cut off. So this is the idea, is to help companies make payroll, pay rent, pay their mortgage to make sure that they don't have to lay off employees when they have those fixed costs. Now, if the small business can show that they have retained most of their workforce, then those loans will eventually be forgiven. So it would turn into basically grants. Those will go through the Small Business Administration as well as the banks that these companies are already using for financing.
Joining us, Ann Edgerton from Bloomberg, answering our stimulus questions. We could probably do this for another hour or so. I understand that there's a provision for 401ks. Everyone's 401 401k has taken a big hit in the last few weeks. The bill says you don't have to take your minimum distribution this year. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. And there's also a provision for IRAs that would allow people to withdraw from their IRA without facing the usual tax penalty that they would have.
I understand there's a provision for hospitals. New York City hospitals, New York hospitals have taken a huge hit during the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that Democrats really emphasized in the negotiations. They really fought for more funds to be given to hospitals as they tried to this crisis. There's $150 billion in the bill for hospitals, as well as supplemental appropriations to more specific health needs in state and local communities.
And we'll make one more point here. Governor Cuomo has not been on board with the stimulus. I think you know he has called it a terrible bill, saying New York is getting shortchanged as far as the money that states are getting. He says New York will get less than $4 billion. But, right, this bill really is providing stuff for people immediately on the ground, maybe not the state. How do you see another bill in the future that maybe helps the states more in line with what the governor is looking for?
Absolutely. That's something we've been hearing from policymakers a lot. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made it very clear that in the so-called Phase 4 bill, which would be the next one, this one that was just recently passed was the Phase 3. It was the third bill that Congress has passed to deal with coronavirus. In the next version, the Phase 4, Pelosi made it very clear that there needs to be more help for state and local governments because they really are at the front lines of this crisis, responding to both the health needs and the economic repercussions of basically shutting down the economy pretty abruptly.
Thank you very much. Bloomberg's Ann Edgerton patiently answering a number of questions about the stimulus that President Trump just signed moments ago, the $2.2 trillion stimulus. We're going to catch up now with Greg Rice for traffic info. Greg.
All right, Laura, let's go to the Bronx. We're actually a few traffic issues to talk about. Having said that, we've had a part of a couple of weeks. Westbound cross Bronx, we're all over on Westchester Avenue over to George. That's because of emergency pothole repair work on the outbound upper level. The eastbound Brockner getting over to 138th Street. We've got an accident knocking out at least one lane. So the eastbound cross Bronx, actually the better bet to and from the Bronx, the Sawmill River Parkway. This is just over the Westchester line in Yonkers. Southbound near McLean Avenue, a car went through the divider onto the northbound side and then flipped over. So you got the northbound Sawmill shut down right over the Westchester line. Southbound, a couple of lanes shut down in the Henry Hudson Parkway. It's all one mess. If you can stay over the Thruway D and combo extend, you'll be better served. East side of Manhattan, up the yard drive. This is northbound, getting up towards the Queensboro Bridge. Accident knocks out at least one lane. The inbound George could go to the upper Mall, Lincoln and Harlem. They are plowing free alternate signs suspended in the city for at least next Tuesday. Earliest you have to move the car within city limits is April. Because of last night's subway car fire, we can bring you out on 1010 wins. The 2 trains say confined to the Bronx. 3 trains are on the 1 track north of 96, with nothing stopping at 86 or 96. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 wins.
Our young Stone and our family's food and wine stores are open 7 days a week, including our new store in Harlem. Stu Leonard's is getting daily deliveries direct from our farmers. Our shelves are full. We also deliver at shopstews.com.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, there's still a lot of sunshine outside this afternoon. It's pretty warm, too. Temperatures have been well into the 60s. We're heading down to 11:45 tonight. So a pretty pleasant evening. Clouds, though, will increase later tonight. And then for tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty cloudy day. We'll see some rain during the afternoon. You can see some rain sneak in late in the morning across portions of New Jersey. All the high tomorrow right around 52. Rain times tomorrow night, low 45. It's going to be a cloudy and breezy day on Sunday with showers, but not an all-day rain. High Sunday 56. Monday's a nice day with sun and clouds, high 62. And still some sunshine Tuesday, but clouds will start to win out later in the day. A little cooler, too. Tuesday's high 55. 68 and sunny right now in Midtown. We're going down to 45 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins.
Wins News Time at 4:54. Governor Phil Murphy announced new numbers today.
Announcing another nearly 2,000 cases of coronavirus and sadly another 27 dead. Governor Murphy says he doesn't see a scenario where this doesn't bleed into May.
These aren't abstract numbers. These are our neighbors, our family, our friends, and we mourn together.
The governor also announced today that the drive-up testing at Bergen County College and the PNC Arts Center will be only for first responders and healthcare workers.
The general public will not be able to access these sites tomorrow.
He also urged businesses not in compliance with social distancing or closure orders to do so under penalty of fine. And he announced the temporary coronavirus hospital at the Meadowlands Expo Center will be open next Friday. Al Jones, 1010 Wins News.
The New York Fleet Week has been canceled. A spokesman says the Navy did not come to this decision lightly, but they felt it necessary to help mitigate further spread of the coronavirus. Wins News Time 4:55.
I'm Dr. Howard Zucker, New York State's Health Commissioner. I'm calling on all New Yorkers to do their part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Everyone, even young people and those who feel well, stay home. If you must go outside, stay 6 feet from others. This will ensure everyone who needs hospital care can get it. This virus spreads even without symptoms. Stay home and stay safe. Be a part now, so we can all be together later. Stay informed at health.ny.gov/coronavirus.
Somewhere out there, there's a man on a park bench eating his 500th PB&J. He has no idea Papa John's has new Papadillas that are way better than a boring sandwich. With Papa John's best meats, cheeses, and veggies hand-folded into a crispy flatbread crust. Someone better tell that man. Get a new Papadilla in 1 of 4 flavors for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's. $5 of discount fees and taxes, extra prices may vary.
Next news time 4:56 now. Bloomberg Money Watch. Here's Andrew O'Day.
After 3 days of gains for stock, the losses came back today. Dow fell 915, Nasdaq down 295, S&P 500 off 89 as the latest snapshot of consumer confidence in the U.S. showed the biggest fall since the middle of the financial crisis in 2008, according to the University of Michigan's fresh number. Millions of Americans working from home right now means millions of Americans working from home. Their workers they visit while on the clock. Somebody's watching. Bloomberg Money Watch, 26 to 56 miles every hour. And below 10 wins.
News time 4:57.
If you or your loved ones need immigration services, call Spectre Law Group at 646-543-0745. Spectre Law Group has helped thousands of immigrants get a green card in the United States and saved many hundreds from deportation. Lawyers at Spectre Law Group are known throughout New York for their experience, honesty, and success in getting their clients legal status in America. If you or your loved ones are undocumented, call 646-543-0745 and see if Spectre Law Group can get you your green card. If you need to apply for your relatives abroad, call Spectre Law Group to do it right. If you or your loved ones were arrested or need to appear in court for deportation proceedings, call them immediately. Spectre Law Group now offers free consultations. Write this number down, 646-543-0745, or visit them at spectrelawgroup.com. That's SPEKTOR lawgroup.com. Spectre Law Group, your immigration lawyers, 646-543-0745.
Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner, from small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're looking for. After all,
John Deere's E530. Built to mow better, faster, because sometimes you're up against the clock. Like Sunday evening when you've got to cut the grass before the family gets back. Mow it full throttle with razor-sharp precision thanks to the Excel Deep Mower Deck. Then when your family's right around the corner, you're already done. This is more than just grass. It's pride. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere's E500 for more.
Wednesday's time, 4:59.
WINS,
Weather says increasing clouds much later tonight, low 45 degrees in Midtown. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with rain beginning during the afternoon, high 52. Rain at times tomorrow night, low 45.
Sunday, cloudy and breezy with showers, high 56. Monday, nice, much milder with sun and clouds, high 62. Tuesday, some sunshine and increasing clouds, high 55. It is 68 degrees now, sunny in New York, humidity 20%, winds are light, repeating the current temperature, 68 degrees. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Emma Jimenez is our studio producer, Kyle McMorrow, our service aide, Walter Geist, the writer, Justin Schrager is at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 68 degrees at 5 o'clock. I'm Donna Vaughn, and here's what's happening. Coronavirus deaths in New York State breaking the 500 mark today. Governor Cuomo praising the responders and medical personnel on the front lines, calling their duty an individual act of courage. Over half of the state's positive cases of COVID-19 are in New York City, as Mayor de Blasio predicts the pandemic could last into May. If you lost your job because of the pandemic, there's some help on the way. President Trump has just signed off on that multi-trillion-dollar economic rescue bill passed by the House earlier today. And with telecommuting is suddenly so common, the nation's biggest retailer says American workers are still shopping for shirts, but not so much pants. 10 Winds AccuWeather, increasing clouds tonight, low 45. Early sun tomorrow, but then clouds and periods of rain, and not as mild, high 52.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. Stocks rose this week on hope for the stimulus bill. Now that we have it, there was nothing new to stimulate stocks. Now ended down 915.
The latest news time 5:01. Traffic and transit an expanded report now with Greg Rice.
Actually, we have some traffic in the Bronx this afternoon. Haven't said that much this week. Westbound Cross Bronx, you're loaded Westchester Avenue to George. There's going to be a reason for that these days, and that reason is construction on the outbound upper level into the apartments, knocking out the right lane as they plug some potholes. And just like everything else this week, if there's an issue, there's a better way around the Bruckner-Deegan combo. That's your winner here. You don't want to bother with the Henry Hudson Parkway Sawmill combo, though, to and from Westchester. Northbound Sawmill right over the county line, getting up to 20 Avenue, shut down because of a wreck. Southbound 2 lanes are slow, so it's a crawl for Yonkers. What do? You go right next door. The Egan Thruway combination, you deal with the toll, and you get home a whole lot quicker. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George, you can go to the upper and lower. There's really no bad way out aside from the Cross Bronx. Lincoln and Holland, they behave, as does everything on the East River, as the Brooklyn-bound Brooklyn Bridge. The earlier breakdown, that is all out of the way. Traffic is sponsored by Care One. Care One and the Strauss family would like to thank their dedicated staff, along with all of our public servants who have continued to rise to the occasion during these challenging times. Your tireless efforts have not gone unnoticed, and they are greatly appreciated today and every day. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday, March 31st. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 5:11 on 1010 Winds.
An emotional message from Governor Cuomo earlier today, calling on New Yorkers to come together to defeat the coronavirus and support the heroes who've been on the front lines. The governor announced today more than 44,000 coronavirus cases in the state and 519 deaths, 134 more than yesterday. And he is making sure hospitals are ready for expected surge in patients, he says. Gentleman Reporter Samantha Beekman has more. Governor Cuomo says despite the already high numbers, the worst is yet to come.
So now we're looking at about 31 days for possible apex. So we will do everything we can to be ready.
He says the state will most likely need 140,000 hospital beds. There's currently 53,000. And we're going to interrupt right now and go live to Mayor de Blasio giving remarks this afternoon.
We're going to need the equipment, the supplies, obviously the ventilators. I'll keep updating you regularly about what our situation looks like. But I want to put down that marker right now, and I put down that marker to the White House, that is a decisive moment for the city of New York. We need to make sure that we can get to that day ready to face the week after that and the week after that as well. And right now we're not there. So, look, I've been trying to work with the president and his team. We obviously have to be, at this moment, working in common cause on behalf of New Yorkers. It doesn't mean we agree on everything, to say the least. But I will always say when the White House does something to help us, I will be thankful, and I'll give credit when due. And when I think they're missing something, I'll say that too. I do think the notion that any message is being put forward, that honest, the facts to be. April will be tougher than March. less true. If things get better, I'll be the first to say it. But I don't want people to think this is going to be easy when it's not going to be. I think people need to be ready for the hard truth, help people prepare themselves for what's ahead. And it is a battle, but it will be over. It will be over at some point in the coming months, and then we'll start that long recovery. But we will come back strong. The numbers, every time I have to tell you about this, is human beings who are afflicted, the people we've lost. It is painful and it's shocking. 25,573 cases in the city of New York. We remain the epicenter of the COVID-19 crisis in the United States of America. I look forward to a day when I can tell you that's no longer true, but today that is true. 366 New York City residents have been lost. 366 of our neighbors have been lost. And I want to note that this is becoming personal for all of us in our neighborhoods. All of us have experienced this pain. And it's coming home certainly to our city government, to our agencies that are out there serving people every day. I think you know, just in the last few days, we lost a principal in our public school system. We've lost a custodian who works at police headquarters. We've lost a member of our Department of Transportation team, a member of our Department of Corrections team, and sadly we are sure to lose more of our colleagues, and that's painful. Some of the most senior members of the NYPD leadership have been afflicted by the disease and are fighting it now. I want to take a moment to just offer my condolences to the families of some of our public servants that we've lost. Dennis Dixon, the custodian and Locals Plaza. Irene Weiss, the community assistance, the Union of Corrections Department, the Department of Transportation. David Perez, investigator for public corrections. Dennis Kelly, nurse manager at CIOS. This is not one of the organizations that obviously monitor those jobs, our brothers and sisters and colleagues who have lost. I know this struggle is very painful for all of us. And design remain as both working democracy academy. Everyone's giving these lessons to work. I look forward to the day when we start to talk about flowing comments, but that day is still a way off, and we have to be clear. The human toll is what matters, and for everyone who says it's about the economy and getting the economy back up, that's just wrong. It's about saving lives first. That's what we believe here in this city. And it's about keeping our hospitals going, keeping our healthcare system going. I want to remind everyone, you cannot have an economic recovery if our healthcare system isn't working. You can't have an economic recovery if hundreds or thousands of people are dying. You can't have an economic recovery if city governments and state governments are going bankrupt. That's the reality we're facing right now. So I want economic recovery, you want an economic recovery, but we better deal with the problem first, and that's my message to the President and everyone in Washington. The stimulus bill voted on today, an important step forward, but we sure as hell need more if we're actually going to stave off the full extent of this crisis. If we're going to keep our city running, all our vital services, our healthcare running, our state running, our ability to keep our healthcare system, our ability to save lives. We are not scared to be because of the important needs of Washington. And Washington doesn't have anyone who has the illusion that we can have an economic recovery is putting the target for the whole cities. Recovery only comes when people are whole, people are safe, our healthcare system has been recovered. Our city and state governments are working through our country, the nation again. That's when we really work. The economic impact already has hundreds of thousands of workers on the way unemployed. The loss of the down, I think, soon, unfortunately, as many workers lost their jobs in recent weeks. We have to do money. Working every day to make sure that whatever those basic needs people have, they're going to get them even if they don't have any money left. But we've got to take another step to recognize just the sheer extent of the pain, the suffering, the challenges that New Yorkers are going through as we suffer this massive, fast economic decline. I think if ever there was a time there should be a rent freeze, it is now. So for the millions of New Yorkers who live in rent-stabilized housing in this city, normally you wait until later in the spring for the Rent Guidelines Board to make its decision on what rent levels should be for the upcoming leases. What we've seen here, to me, makes clear that we need a rent freeze for everyone who's rent stabilized, and we have to talk about all the people who are not rent stabilized as well. But everyone stabilized is a mechanism. We need to have a rent freeze, but the only way to do that is with the help of the state of New York. I would like to see the state immediately join the rest. They've been very cooperative in so many things. They've worked so many issues together to come to an agreement and the way forward. So we will be working with the state starting immediately. Let's continue to advocate for the plan for your party. If we are able to get state agreement to suspend the rent guidelines process for this year, that will initiate an immediate rent freeze for new leases. That will trigger to be given the full severity of this crisis. I want to go back to almost hospitals in other parts of the country, since he can understand and relate to the borough of Queens. Let that be the touchstone. Let that be the example that moves the president and the federal government to maximum effort needed right now. Today, we saw progress, and again, we're always putting progress. The president put out the statement, having invoked the Defense Production Act related to general motors. That's a step in the right direction. I'm very happy to see it, but now we have to go further. Urge the president to use the full power of the Defense Production Act to mobilize industries across America to produce the maximum number of ventilators and other crucial medical supplies. It's quite clear this crisis is spreading rapidly around the country. We, as a nation, did not have the supplies and equipment ready. It's not just this crisis, it's whatever happens in the future. We should produce now while we have the chance. All the ventilators possible to save our people. Obviously, to make that happen, the military will be needed in every sense. The logistical capacity, the ability to move material without question, the finest ability in the nation to get things where they need to go and to deal with the toughest conditions. That's our military, in addition to the extraordinary personnel they can bring to bear. The military needs to be mobilized fully. Our standing members of the permanent military, reserves, National Guard, this has to be the ultimate team effort. And there's no Americans more ready to serve than the members of our military. The Commander-in-Chief now needs to make that call and get them into this fight immediately. The question has come up this week rightfully about our personal protective equipment, the PPEs that our healthcare professionals need, our first responders need. I talked about the amazing effort with the Navy Yard. We're going to see a lot more of those homegrown efforts to create a lot of the supplies we need, but obviously what we need most is the help of the federal government and the supplies that come in from all over the country, even in some cases from outside the country. The masks, the gowns, the gloves, the face shields. We need them in huge quantities going forward. We have enough of the personal protective equipment, again, to get us to that crucial day of Sunday, April 5th. I will update you constantly if that crucial demarcation line changes. But right now, we must keep getting more to make sure we can get past Sunday, April 5th. Here's the distribution that's going on as we speak, just to give you a sense of the sheer magnitude. This is all what's being done by the City of New York and our agencies right now, our Department of Health, Emergency Management, Health and Hospitals, all our agencies working together. As we speak, 20 trucks are on the road delivering to our hospitals. This includes a grand total of 1 million surgical masks, 200,000 N95 masks, 50,000 face shields, 40,000 isolation gowns, 10,000 boxes of gloves. This is all happening right now as we speak. Tomorrow, our trucks will be delivering 800,000 more N95 masks and 2 million more surgical masks. So this is going to be constant from this point on. We've had a really amazing outpouring of offers from New Yorkers and people all over the country offering to get us supplies like this, who have sources of their own companies that they can draw on. We need it all is the answer. And everyone who wants to help us anywhere can call this number and let us know what you can get us and how soon, and we will follow up immediately. The number to offer supplies and equipment to help the people in New York City is 833-NYC-0040. Again, 833-NYC-0040. And we appreciate the help, and we need it now. A few more updates. Elmhurst Hospital, as I said, we all understand it's been hit so hard. It's been the epicenter of this crisis. The doctors, the nurses, all the staff fighting so hard, and they need reinforcements, and reinforcements keep coming in each day. Today, Health and Hospitals has sent 64 additional clinicians to Elmhurst Hospital. That's registered nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, and physicians. 64 more clinicians sent today. Within the hospital, 45 members of the ambulatory staff have been moved over to work on urgent COVID cases. tomorrow 105 additional nurses will be sent to Elmhurst Hospital. So this is what we're going to be dealing with in the days ahead, moving people, moving materials, moving equipment where they're needed the most, and trying to get more and more brought in all the time. But Elmhurst is the first in everyone's mind, and we're making sure that reinforcements are sent constantly. Obviously, yesterday, the ventilators that were sent, the 40 ventilators to back up additional their supply needs. We will keep doing that. So everyone at Elmhurst, you will always get resupplied with everything that we can get you. We've talked recently about what we're seeing around the city, what information we have about the spread of this disease. Our health commissioner will be part of this press conference, so she can certainly speak to as many of the details we know. But what we know for a fact is the disease is widespread around New York City, all 5 boroughs, across the board. Community spread means community spread everywhere. What we also know is testing patterns have varied deeply around the city. It's really been different depending on where you are. In some parts of the city, there's been a lot more testing. In other parts, less testing. In some parts of the city, testing has really been focused on folks with the most severe cases. In other parts of the city, testing was on a lot of people who now we would say would not be priorities for testing. That will affect the rates of positive cases in each neighborhood because the testing patterns have been uneven. We're always looking to figure out what is the exact truth and what do we need to know strategically. But the information we have now is skewed in some ways, of course, by the realities I just explained to you. But we are going to try and put out information. We put out the borough numbers. Now Department of Health has put out a map showing what the pattern is. And this is on the Department of Health website, what the pattern is around the city. But again, this information only tells you part of the picture because the testing patterns have been so inconsistent. We're going to keep digging down to figure out if there are any particular areas that need particular strategic approaches. We know what's different around the city is that some areas have a greater concentration of hospitals, others have less. That's part of what's going on in Queens for sure with Elmhurst, where there's fewer hospitals that people are going to. But we got to get to the bottom of any deeper trends that we can act on, and we will keep doing that and then keep reporting the facts as we know them. A couple of other quick points. Our jail population, we will continue to reduce our jail population to address this crisis to ensure that any inmates who can be appropriately released, particularly those with real health concerns that we act on, we know we have to do this quickly. I mentioned that because of all the efforts over the last few years, but also this recent release effort that we now have for the first time since 1949 under 5,000 inmates in our jails. That number will continue to go down in the coming days. As of last night, 375 inmates had been released. By tonight, that number will be at least 450. We are working with district attorneys and the state to additionally work on release of the appropriate inmates that they have specific jurisdiction over. So we'll constantly update you on what's going on with that situation. But again, as of tonight, at least 450 will have been released. Related to our parks, and a question that's been on everyone's mind about what's going to happen going forward with our parks, and the question of whether we're seeing compliance and commitment to social distancing. Overwhelmingly, the answer is yes, and this is coming back from the NYPD, Parks Department, and many other agencies. We're seeing the vast majority of New Yorkers do the right thing, observe social distancing, take it seriously, spend only the time that they have to be outdoors, then get back indoors. But we are seeing in the last day or so, we have seen some non-compliance that is really of concern. We obviously have to think about the warmer weather coming ahead, and we need to make sure that people understand this is really, really serious. So, the NYPD has been instructed, of course, to educate people, warn people, move along. People need to be moved along, break up groups, make sure there's no gatherings. I want to be very clear that at this weekend we're going to make a decision on whether we need to start instituting fines for anyone who is non-compliant. We have not made that decision yet. We'll make it this weekend. Fines of up to $500 per incident are being discussed right now. This means if any of our officers, NYPD or Parks or any other agency, tells you you need to move along, you need to move along. If they tell you to break up your gathering, you need to break up your gathering. It does not mean you can break it up for a few minutes and then come back. It doesn't mean you can tell the officer you're not going to do it. We're going to start to bring heavier enforcement to bear if people don't pay attention to the non-stop guidance that we've all been given, and our officers are giving, and our health experts are giving, and the national news media is giving. Come on. You've gotten enough information to know you have to practice social distancing. I know it's not easy. I know it goes against everything we're used to doing. No more team sports. No more social gatherings in the park. No getting close together unless it's your own family members, the people you live with under the same roof. Those are the rules. And people really need to follow those rules. If you don't follow those rules, then what it's going to say to me is we start to have to use much more serious penalties. I don't want people to be penalized at a time where there's so much economic distress. I don't want people to be penalized who are trying to make sense of a new painful reality. But I need people to listen and understand this is about protecting yourself, your family, and all the rest of us. So we'll have more information on that over the weekend. That I am asking fellow New Yorkers to take it seriously, or else there will have to be more severe measures. Obviously, the same point about playgrounds. After tomorrow night, we're going to make a decision on whether to keep playgrounds open. Will be directly related to the level of compliance we see, whether we can keep them open or not. Another area, and it pains me to say this, and it's probably a pretty limited phenomenon, but it has to be addressed. I've spoken to religious leaders of all backgrounds, and I want to thank them. So many of our religious leaders have really taken a lead and said to their congregations, said to members of their faith communities that we have to act differently now. The vast majority of houses of worship have stopped their traditional worship service. They could, they went online, they went on the radio, whatever they could do, but they've stopped gathering people understanding the nature of the crisis. We've had extraordinary support from the leaders of major Christian denominations. We've had extraordinary across-the-board rabbinical support from all the different elements of the Jewish community, and the same is true of other faiths as well. A small number of religious communities, specific churches, specific synagogues, are unfortunately not paying attention to this guidance, even though it's been so widespread. So I want to say to all those who are preparing the potential of religious services this weekend, if you go to your synagogue, if you go to your church and attempt to hold services after having been told so often not to, our enforcement agents will have no choice but to shut down those services. I don't say that with any joy. It's the last thing I would like to do, because I understand how important people's faiths are to them, and we need our faiths in this time of crisis, but we do not need gatherings that will endanger people. No faith tradition endorses anything that endangers the members of that faith. So the NYPD, fire department, buildings department, everyone has been instructed that if they see worship services going on, they will go to the officials of that congregation. They'll inform them they need to stop the services and disperse. If that does not happen, they will take additional action up to the point of fines and potentially closing the building permanently. Again, that will begin this weekend. Again, I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but anyone who's hearing this, take it seriously. You've been warned. You need to stop services, help people practice their faith in different ways, but not in groups, not in gatherings that could endanger people. Finally, on remote learning, this is a huge new endeavor. It's a challenging effort. Yesterday, I have to say I was really upset when I heard from one of our reporters that a couple of major broadband providers apparently were making it more difficult for certain households to get the internet service they needed so their kids could participate in distance learning. I made very clear we would act if Charter Spectrum and Altice did not resolve these issues. I do want to give you good news, and I do want to give these companies credit for acting quickly. Both have now said they will waive the rules that were the problem. They will not hold back service from families with students who need to learn online, and now more of our students will be able to learn. So that is a good step, and I want to thank our colleague in the media who brought that forward so we could act on that. And finally, just to say to another group of people, I tried to really take time to thank people, and then I'll say just a couple quick words in Spanish. You know, there's so many people to thank, and I've talked a number of times, I'll keep talking about our doctors, our nurses, our frontline medical staff, but there's another group of unsung heroes who are the clinicians who are staffing our 311 Health and Hospitals hotline. That's more than 750 clinicians. They work at literally all hours of the day. This last week already, they've taken 23,000 calls just in a week. And what they're doing is helping New Yorkers to understand what they need to do in this crisis, how they can address whatever they're experiencing. And what's in fact the case is in 90% of these calls, the answer is hearing from a medical professional, understanding what's really going on and how to handle it. 90% of these calls, the advice was to stay home, see it through to another point in time, and then call back if the situation got worse. For those who needed additional care immediately, our clinicians were there to direct them immediately to where they needed to go and make sure they had the information they needed. Those clinicians are doing something crucial, and they've helped give people the confidence that if they did need to stay home, it was after having talked to a capable medical professional to get that advice. That's really crucial because that's been helping people to feel that peace of mind, to do the right thing, to be able to make the right decision because a public servant, a professional was there to help them. So thank you to those 750 clinicians. You're doing something very important for all of us. Finally, just a few words in Spanish.
We've been listening to a briefing from Mayor Bill de Blasio live on 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com. The mayor with a warning this afternoon to those not following social distancing guidelines. He says the vast majority of New Yorkers are observing social distancing, but he says authorities have seen some non-compliance. He did not specify, and he says he'll make a decision this weekend about possible fines that could be up to $500 per incident. He also says a small number of religious communities, he said churches and synagogues, he did not identify them, are not paying attention to social distancing guidance. He says to those churches and synagogues preparing services this weekend, enforcement agents will have no choice but to shut them down. We're going to go back to the mayor's briefing now. He's taking questions from reporters.
Questions now. Please proceed, Olivia.
Quick reminder that we're going to do one question per reporter to get to as many outlets as possible. And with that, Aaron Durkin is up first. Aaron?
Hi, Mr. Mayor. I just have some questions about, there have been reports of overwhelming numbers of 911 calls, and they're telling people, you know, even if you're having trouble breathing, go to the emergency room by yourself. I guess I'm just wondering, sort of on a practical basis, we're also hearing that emergency rooms are turning people away if they're well enough to walk or talk on their own. So, just on a very practical level, if you need care, how are you supposed to get to an emergency room if you're not supposed to call 911 and you can't walk on your own? I assume you don't walk people in cabs and subways. And related to that, just with the guidance to stay home if at all possible and people being turned away, is there a concern that people are going to end up, you know, deteriorating, getting into really serious condition, possibly even dying without getting into care?
So Aaron, I'll start and our doctors will jump in. Look, I say to you, I'd say to your colleagues, every time you raise an issue, we're all following up on it right away. But I also want to be careful. Sometimes the issues raised are based on either rumors or very, very narrow circumstances that don't reflect the reality. You're asking a very important question. I want to thank you for the question, but I want to be careful that the opening assumption of the question, that people don't hear it and think suddenly, you know, everything that we knew before is gone, because it's just not true. We have some hospitals that have been particularly stressed. We have a number of other hospitals that are in much less of a situation of overload. Of course, all of our EMTs continue to do their work. I will look into everything happening with FDNY, EMS, 911, but the basic rules that have always applied apply. If someone's in urgent need, we get them, we give them help. Now, you're right to say that people have been walking up. It's true, a lot of people have been walking up, particularly in the case of Elmhurst. And we said days ago that every emergency room now has outside medical professionals who are screening to see who actually needs to go into the emergency room and who does not, who needs testing and who does not. In this crisis, there's so much fear, there's so much confusion. Of course, people are going to want to get as much testing as possible. It's natural. We've kept telling them who really needs it, who doesn't, but I understand that that message is hard for people to hear. So the fact is that the emergency rooms, those decisions are being made outside. But anyone who needs immediate care is getting immediate care. We're not telling people if you're in immediate danger, stay home. That's not the message at all. The message has simply been, if you have cold or flu-like symptoms, stay put to begin. Give it 3 or 4 days. If you're not getting better, call your doctor, and your doctor will direct you from there. Obviously, if you have anything that's an emergency, we treat it as an emergency. But what we didn't want was a lot of people, we know this about this disease. 80% of people who get it are going to have a pretty mild experience. We don't want those people flooding the emergency rooms and the hospitals. We need them to have the confidence that the pattern is so consistent that they can stay home and ride it through unless something changes for the worse, in which case, of course, we want to get them to more care. So, no, I do not have reports of people not getting care who need care. In fact, I think, Aaron, it's been the other way around. A lot of people still kind of understandably rushing to the hospital, even though they're only having those very initial symptoms. And we're trying to get people to understand they don't need to do that. They can call those clinicians. As I said, they can call 311. You can get connected to a Health and Hospitals clinician if you need to confirm how to handle your situation. So there's always help out there. But FDNY, EMS, they continue to do as they always have and address people who have real emergencies in real time. To Dr. Katz, Dr. Barbeau, you want to add?
I would just add, I think Ms. Mayor did a great job. As you said, 90% of the calls to our clinicians have resulted in people being advised to stay home. But that means 10% of the time we're telling people they need emergency care. And the biggest distinction is shortness of breath. So people who are short of breath are much more in danger and do need to be seen as rapidly as possible. Part of your good advice about people staying home that 3 or 4 days, we don't want them to be exposed, and we don't want them to expose others. So it's also part of our preventing disease transmission.
Mitch, can you just dwell on that for a moment? Hold on one second, I'm sorry, I'll say this. Mitch, just stay on that for a moment, because I think this has really been under-discussed. A lot of people, I think, understand that there are times when you have to go to the hospital and how hard the people at the hospitals work to protect you. But there's also a lot of truth way before coronavirus that a hospital is an environment that's not ideal either. And Mitch, talk about the fact that if someone might have very mild symptoms or a mild experience with this disease, that it actually could create more danger to go to where there's a lot of people trying to get into a hospital. I think if you play that out a little, it would be helpful for people.
You've been listening to a briefing from Mayor Bill de Blasio live on 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com. The mayor calling for a rent freeze on stabilized apartments. He says he'll be speaking to Albany about that. He says the city needs 15,000 ventilators. And he says he spoke to President Trump this afternoon about Elmhurst Hospital, a place the president, of course, knows well, being from Queens. Our coverage will continue in just a moment on 1010 Wins.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
What would you like today? Yes, I'd like to tell you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. This is Burger Palace. Do you want any food? Yes, 1 Palace party meal. No, I don't put insects on a burger. No, you can't talk to the manager. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. It's happening.
Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner, from small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
If you'd like to give a shout out to an essential worker by name or by group, call us at 855-475-1010 and we'll get it on the air. Stay connected and say thank you to our essential workers. 855-475-1010.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 67 degrees at 5:40. I'm Lori Madden, and here's what's happening. Mayor de Blasio warns New Yorkers who continue to congregate in groups and break social distancing guidelines. His administration is discussing fines of up to $500. The mayor also calling for a rent freeze. The Javits Center ready to roll come Monday.
So I say, my friends, that we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass.
Governor Cuomo applauding the National Guard, FEMA, and the Army Corps of Engineers for turning the convention center into a field hospital. The governor says with the number of COVID-19 cases nearing 45,000, he'll ask the president for approval to build 4 more hospitals in the other boroughs. President Trump signs the $2.2 trillion stimulus package and orders GM to start rolling out ventilators. Goodbye, sailor. The U.S. Navy cancels New York Fleet Week. 1010 Winds AccuWeather says increasing clouds later tonight, low 45. Cloudy and breezy this weekend with some showers and temperatures in the low 50s.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. Losses of 3 to more than 4% for Wall Street indexes today as traders found no encore to the stimulus bill's passage. Dow lost 915.
Winds news time 5:41. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, Lori, if it was any other day, we'd be looking at 2-hour delays at the outbound side of Lincoln, but right now, no more than 10 minutes. The outbound northbound part of the center to shut down the cost of I'm scanning the jam cams on the west side near the outbound Lincoln, and there's just not much. They're still in the north group shut as I say this. They are reopening the center too, but still no more than 10 minutes at the outbound Lincoln. If you don't want to bother with this, west side to the outbound George, just fine. Cross Bronx westbound, that's the worst of it getting to the outbound George, still probably because of construction on the outbound upper level. The Sawmill River Parkway, Henry Hudson combo, that is getting better. South end, everything's been reopened. Northbound, maybe a lane shut getting into Yonkers, but a much better ride. The northbound Bronx River Parkway, the one to avoid because of a crash near East 233rd Street. Inbound George is fine. No inbound issues at the Lincoln Harlem. You've got a good ride overall. Alternate side suspended in the city through at least next Tuesday. 3 trains are on the one track north of 96 in the city, and you've got the 1 and 3 both skipping 86 to 96, all because of last night's train fire and the ensuing investigation. BWNZ subways, they remain parked in the yard for the time being. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 5:51 on 1010 Winds.
Winds news time 5:43, and you just heard moments ago live on 1010 Winds. Social distancing fines could be on the way. Mayor de Blasio warning New Yorkers that they'll make a decision this weekend about possible fines of up to $500 for violators who are not following social distancing guidelines. He says the vast majority of New Yorkers are observing those guidelines. The mayor also said during his briefing this afternoon he wants a rent freeze for stabilized apartments.
Normally, you wait until later in the spring for the Rent Guidelines Board to make its decision on what rent levels should be for the upcoming leases. What we've seen here, to me, makes clear that we need a rent freeze for everyone who's rent stabilized.
The mayor says he spoke to the president today about Elmhurst Hospital, a place the president knows well, being from Queens. The mayor said he expressed concerns about the amount of supplies the city has to deal with, the dwindling amount of supplies to deal with the virus. He says the city needs 15,000 ventilators. Governor Cuomo says the number of coronavirus cases in New York is nearing
45,000. There are now 519 deaths statewide. The governor was at the Javits Center today and applauded the National Guard, healthcare workers, and others on the front lines who had that field hospital set up in just days. The governor touted that the state is testing more people per capita than anywhere in the country, and while infections are increasing, hospitalizations aren't accelerating.
There is good news in that the rate of the increase is slower.
But he says with the surge expected in 21 days, New York needs 140,000 hospital beds. 1,000 now complete at the Javits Center, with 3,000 more to come at 3 other downstate sites built by the National Guard.
In 1 week, creating a hospital is just incredible. I don't know how you did it. Now, you did such a good job that I'm asking for 4 more.
The governor says he will ask the president for approval to get started on those 4 hospitals so each borough has one. Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins at the Javits Center. Wednesday's time, 5:45. A popular Long Island spot for pedestrians has been closed. Nassau County Executive Laura Curran.
I have to applaud the city of Long Beach for closing the boardwalk. Not an easy decision, but that's how we flatten the curve. Human beings are social animals. That is how we have survived through the millennia and thrived. That is how we're built. That's in our DNA. Social creatures being told to isolate socially is not easy. While the boardwalk is closed, the beach in Long Beach will remain open. Our coverage will continue in just a moment on 1010 Wins. Wednesday's time, 5:45.
It's only natural to wonder if you have the right Medicare coverage. Now you can be sure with a free no-obligation second opinion. In just minutes, a United Healthcare Medicare advisor can help assess your needs and tell you if there's a plan that might be a better fit. Make sure your Medicare coverage is the right Medicare coverage. Call 1-855-276-0744 for a free second opinion today.
Second opinion is available to all individuals without obligation to switch plans or enroll. There are a number of reasons that allow for enrollment in Medicare plans here, including but not limited to if you're turning 65 or recently moved to an eligible election period.
Somewhere out there, there's a man on a park bench eating his 500th PB&J. He has no idea Papa John's has new papatillas that are way better than a boring sandwich. With Papa John's best meats, cheeses, and veggies hand-folded into a crispy flatbread crust. Don't tell that man. Get a new papadilla in 1 of 4 flavors for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's. Not out of a discount.
67 degrees now, sunny in New York. We are going down to 45 in Midtown tonight. Wednesday's time, 5:47.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's going to have gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out. No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down with my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable. But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms. Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Wednesday's time, 5:48. Governor Phil Murphy announced new numbers today.
Announcing another nearly 2,000 cases of coronavirus and sadly another 27 deaths. Governor Murphy says he doesn't see a scenario where this doesn't bleed into May.
These aren't abstract numbers. These are our neighbors, our family, our friends, and we mourn together.
The governor also announced today that the drive-up testing at Bergen County College and the PNC Arts Center will be only for first responders.
Okay, you're getting a little bonus treat here. The New York State Thruway Authority has elected to keep all of its service areas open during the outbreak. So they're still serving takeout at restaurants, and we're gonna go see what it looks like inside. And all of the dining areas have been closed, so you won't be able to hang out here, but you can still go inside, use the restrooms, and order food from the restaurants for takeout only. So let's see if there's anybody inside at all. This is the Sloatsburg service area on the Thruway northbound, somewhere around milepost 30. No, I can't get coffee. That sucks. What's up? A couple things are. Yeah, just for takeout though. Good, how are you? There's nobody here. How crazy is this? Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see it this empty again. Though I should emphasize that there are some places that are open serving takeout and the restrooms are open. All right, back to the roads.
was released from the burning of fossil fuel. Combustion engines are a major source of NO2, which can cause airway inflammation and respiratory problems at high concentrations. The max shows a sharp drop in those levels in northern Italy, Madrid, and Paris. One case on 555.
Are you ready to switch mobile providers? Spectrum Mobile is a better way to mobile, delivering the fastest overall
do their part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Everyone, even young people and those who feel well, stay home. If you must go outside, stay 6 feet from others. This will ensure everyone who needs hospital care can get it. This virus spreads even without symptoms. Stay home and stay safe. Be a part now, so we can all be together later. Stay informed at health.ny.gov/coronavirus.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company helps you customize your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Unlike things you paid for you didn't need, like the Backnado 2000. A Wi-Fi connected vacuum that uploads dust bunny data to the cloud for real-time optimization. Whatever that means. Really, it's just a very expensive go-get-you toy. With Liberty Mutual, get customized home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 Liberty. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
At CDW, we get that an unsecured laptop can put your company's data at risk, making you a little paranoid. I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid. CDW can implement a secure mobility solution using the HP EliteBook with Intel 8th generation processors and SureView privacy to protect your screen from prying eyes.
Did you follow me here?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP security.
Traffic is next, sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Buying a car with your tax refund. Stop. Don't get ripped off by wasting your refund paying huge dealer fees. At Major World, you pay only a $75 dealer fee. Major World, just straight up honest pricing. Visit MajorWorld.com or call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO. At 5:58, traffic and weather together is Tom Kaminsky.
All right, Paul, let's start first off on the Southern State westbound side at Meadowbrook Parkway. Collision there is now cleared away. The northbound Bronx River at Gun Hill Road, a crash there has now also been cleared. The outbound Lincoln Tunnel, the center tube has been reopened, but the tube to the far right, the north tube is
WCBS, WCBS HD, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
President Trump signs the $2 trillion relief bill and orders General Motors to produce ventilators under the Defense Production Act. Governor Cuomo reports another 16,000 coronavirus cases in New York and wants to expand temporary hospital facilities to all 5 boroughs.
Today, 66 degrees on Friday, March 27th. Good evening, I'm Michael Wallace. CBS News covers the world next.
More than just the headlines. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
It's 6 o'clock.
Outbreak. Stephen, the largest bill ever enacted. $1 billion, but with expanded lending authority for the Federal Reserve, Mr. Trump says it offers up to $4 trillion more to avoid an economic collapse. Businesses will be able to take out loans almost immediately. Unemployment benefits would be boosted by $600 a week, and direct cash payments of up to $1,200 could reach the accounts of lower and middle-income workers within weeks. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington. The head of the International Monetary Fund says the global economy has clearly entered a recession, which could be as bad or worse than the 2009 downturn. Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva.
We do project recovery in 2021. In fact, there may be a sizable rebound, but only if we succeed with containing the virus everywhere.
New York State has nearly 45,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and more than 500 deaths. Governor Andrew Cuomo spoke to members of the National Guard today who helped build a temporary hospital in New York City.
So I say, my friends, that we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass.
Officials in Southern California are taking new steps to stop the spread of the virus. CBS's Steve Futterman reports.
Beaches in Los Angeles County have been shut down, including iconic Venice Beach and Malibu Beach. Gary Jones, the LA County Director of Beaches, says officials had no choice.
Last weekend, we saw thousands of people congregate on our beaches despite requests to stay safer at home.
There will be patrols to enforce the order. LA County hiking trails have also been shut down. Steve Futterman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Feel like the cavalry has arrived in LA now that the Navy hospital ship Mercy has docked. Vatican, the city on Wall Street, the Dow dropped 915 points today. This is CBS News. This is WCBS News Radio 880, a radio.com station.
66 degrees in lower Manhattan. Should be clear to partly cloudy, lows in the 40s tonight. Early sun tomorrow, then the clouds roll in. Rain develops by mid to late afternoon. Tomorrow's high near 55. It's 6:03 at WCBS. Mayor de Blasio says he's nervous with the city's number of COVID-19 cases topping 25,000. He's worried the city's hospitals won't be able to cope with the outbreak after April 5th. De Blasio says the city may have to get tough with its social distancing rules.
Fines of up to $500 per incident are being discussed right now. This means if any of our officers, NYPD or Parks or any other agency, tells you you need to move along, you need to move along. If they tell you to break up your gathering, you need to break up your gathering.
366 New Yorkers have died of COVID-19. The mayor says he will seek the state's approval to freeze rents. He's also ordering all houses of worship to cancel their services. New York State now has more than 44,000 cases of the virus and 519 deaths. Governor Cuomo wants the National Guard to build 4 more temporary hospitals in the city, so there's one in each borough. WCBS's Peter Haskell was at the governor's briefing today.
The governor offered to talk to National Guard members here at the Cabot Center and by extension all New Yorkers.
So I say, my friends, that we go out there today and we kick coronavirus ass. That's what I say.
Cuomo has been pleading for life-saving ventilators, but President Trump makes it sound as if they're a luxury.
The Apex isn't here, so we're gathering them in the stockpile, so when we need them, they will be there.
The Apex is expected in 21 days, and the infection rate is slow. Mandatory school closings until April 15th. Senator Peter Haskell, WCBS News Radio 880.
New Jersey has confirmed another 2,000 cases since yesterday for a total of 8,800. 108 people in New Jersey have died from COVID-19. WCBS's Steve Burns has more.
New Jersey needs to allocate its resources well, says Governor Murphy.
We need to know we're testing the right people and not wasting tests.
He insists that only people with symptoms should get a test. And on Saturday, drive-through testing sites in Bergen and Monmouth counties will only be available for symptomatic healthcare workers and first responders.
By the very nature of their jobs, responsibilities, and heroism, deserve a window into this.
Murphy's putting out a call to find more healthcare workers to, in his words, join the fight.
Retired nurses or doctors. Nurses
in May. Steve Burns, WCBS News Radio 880.
Connecticut now has 1,300 cases.
Self-test people going into, say, the factory floor construction sites. Delayed until next month.
Connecticut Attorney General William Tong has joined 14 other AGs in asking the federal government to lift restrictions on fetal tissue research, which they say could help find medicines or cures. Experience matters. The rate of infection is 8 to 10 times greater here. It matters where you get your news. The things we all used to think were normal, we're not doing that. We're doing something different now. WCBS News Radio 880.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Well, the energy is good. Yeah, you hear the commercials and the town's, pretty hokey to be perfectly honest, but I used to get tired at early afternoon, and now I don't get tired till evening, and I don't get sleepy as early as I used to, and I definitely have more energy. I have fewer aches and pains. I haven't had any colds. It seems to be working, so I'll keep going with it.
Don't wait to see what getting over 10 servings of whole fruits and vegetables every day can do for you. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order of fruits and veggies. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code ALLNEWS.
6:08 at WCBS. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, the Friday ride home. Here's Tom Kaminsky.
All right, and Michael, let's start first off the outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel. We had a vehicle fire. It is now extinguished. It is now cleared, so everything there at the Lincoln has now been reopened. We really didn't have much of a delay. As soon as that got reopened, the center tube and the north tube now cleared away. Bronx River northbound at Gun Hill Road, a crash there has been cleared. Southern State westbound at Meadowbrook Parkway, a collision there has now also been cleared. Coming in now on the southbound side of the BQE, right around Broadway Roosevelt, we have a crash and the right lane is closed. Note in the Bronx northbound Wingland Freeway, just north of the Buckner interchange, we had a motorcycle collision. We still had at least one lane blocked at that spot. And on the outbound upper level GWB, the emergency repair work still in place. Very heavy from White Plains Road on the westbound cross Bronx. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
And the Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen. Sounds like some rain this weekend.
It's on the way, and not now. Obviously, it's just too beautiful outside for anything like that. We are at 66 in the city after getting very close to the 70-degree mark. You know, the humidity is down between 15 and 20%. That's pretty extraordinary, too. What a day. But, yes, it's going to change in a big way for tomorrow. Near 45 in the city, 40 elsewhere tonight. Tomorrow, early sun, giving way to clouds, and the rain is in here by mid to late afternoon. It continues into Saturday night. Now, it won't be steady that whole time, but there will be off and on rain. Highs 50 to 55, and even Sunday, it's mainly cloudy with off and on rain and drizzle through the day, and about 50 to 55 once again on Sunday. And right now in the city, our latest is 66, humidity 19%, and a north wind 7 miles per hour.
Thanks, Craig. 610 at WCBS. The MTA is offering a $50,000 reward for information about the intentionally set fire that killed a train operator in Harlem this morning. WCBS's Marla Diamond has more on the investigation.
The 36-year-old motorman was killed in a string of fires on the Upper West Side and Harlem along the True Line, all set just after 3 in the morning, says Brian McGee, Deputy Chief of Detectives at Manhattan North.
The most important thing that I need is for witnesses to come forward, 1-800-577-TIPS. We have the best detectives in the world investigating this.
The fire broke out in the second car of the train, said Transit President Sarah Feinberg.
2 employees on the train, one employee who was helping to operate the train and a second employee who happened to be riding as a passenger on the train successfully evacuated passengers from the train. An
access to platform. Feinberg says it's been a devastating week for the MTA. 2 bus drivers dead of coronavirus, and now a homicide. In Harlem, Marla Diamond, WCBS News Radio 880.
Police say a mother was killed and her husband and 3 children were injured in yesterday's crash on Route 17 in Ramsey. The Newark family's car collided with another. The mother and an infant were ejected. The other driver was not injured. WCBS News Time, 6:11.
Thinking about life insurance? Did you know in just a few minutes you can find the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies for free? You can with SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-461-4545. That's 800-461-4545. 800-461-4545. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
6:12 at WCBS. Time for sports. Here's Rich Ackerman.
Major League Baseball and its players agreed to a plan to address salary and service time regulations during this pandemic. Players will be credited with a full season regardless of the number of games played. The plan also calls for the immediate discussion of expanded rosters, split doubleheaders, and the extension of the regular season into October, among other things. Noah Syndergaard's season ended earlier this week when it was announced he was headed for Tommy John surgery. That procedure took place yesterday and it went well. He's expected to miss 12 to 15 months. The Post reports the U.S. Open in Winged Foot, the latest event to be postponed. The Masters and PGA Championship have already been pushed back, and there is a hope that the event will take place sometime this summer. Rich Ackerman, WCBS 880 Sports. Is faster internet possible? Yes, and if you act fast enough, you can experience it for yourself for an amazing price. For a limited time, get up to 300 meg internet from Optimum for only $39.99 a month for 1 year. This is 1.5 times the speed of Verizon Fios for $10 less per month. This is perfect for me, considering all the weather data constantly pouring into my office, while at the same time, the family can stream, chat, shop, and game thanks to a lightning-fast internet connection. With 300 meg internet, you can connect anywhere, anytime on any of your devices throughout your home with download speeds that outperform Fios according to the FCC for 3 years in a row. Don't wait to enjoy lightning-fast internet. Act now to get this limited time offer for $39.99 a month for 1 year. Visit Optimum.com today. For new residential customers, taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. Not transferable and not available in all areas. Must maintain all services at required level to maintain promo pricing. Advertised speed for wired connection. Wi-Fi speeds may vary. See Optimum.com for details. New Yorkers, stay home. By staying home, you are doing your part to slow the spread of coronavirus. Together, we can protect the most vulnerable and our healthcare workers. When you go out for essential needs, don't forget to keep your distance between yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Cover your nose and mouth when you sneeze or cough. For the latest information, text COVID to 692-692 or visit nyc.gov/coronavirus.
Anything can happen in Jersey, and the New Jersey Lottery encourages everyone to dream big. However, the lottery should not be played as an alternative source of income, and you should always know your limits. Dream big, play responsibly.
You're never more than 15 minutes from the big stories on WCBS.
Good Friday evening, I'm Michael Wallace. 3 deaths to know at 6:15. Mayor de Blasio calls Sunday, April 5th, a decisive day. He's not sure the city's hospitals will be able to cope with the coronavirus outbreak after that. 366 New Yorkers have died. Number 2, Governor Cuomo wants the Army Corps of Engineers to build 4 more temporary hospitals at the Bronx Expo Center, the Aqueduct Racetrack in Queens, the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal, and CUNY Staten Island. And 3, President Trump is ordering General Motors to make ventilators under the Defense Production Act. He has signed the $2 trillion stimulus package, which the House approved today. The number of coronavirus cases on Long Island has topped 8,000, and there are likely more. WCBS's Sophia Hall reports some people who were tested over a week ago still haven't heard anything.
Nassau County Executive Laura Kerman says she has heard of many complaints about people who tested for the coronavirus at Jones Beach and never got back their results.
There has been a lot of frustration at the delay in getting test results. We're seeing now the focus move away from testing at Jones Beach and doing testing at doctors' offices.
Harvey Bass, a 73-year-old from Sea Cliff, is one of those people. He got tested more than 1 week ago.
My concern is that I know in my own neighborhood a number of people who have gone for the test who haven't heard. If the numbers are bad right now, and there's a lot of people out there who still haven't heard, imagine how bad it's going to be.
The health commissioner, Dr. Lawrence Eisenstein, says
the state is being very careful to make sure that the people who are being prioritized at the drive-thru are within certain criteria. And it is healthcare providers, first responders, law enforcement, the contacts of those cases.
Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880.
It seems like it was a lot longer ago, but it was March 10th when Governor Cuomo ordered a 1-mile containment zone in New Rochelle, the site of New York's first cluster of coronavirus cases. WCBS's Steve Burns reports people inside are now wondering when their quarantine will end.
Eli Epstein got the news back on March 3rd.
One of our congregational members had been diagnosed with the virus, and that the Westchester authorities had asked that we close the synagogue and quarantine all members.
And he's been at home ever since, now almost a month later.
As everyone
2 negative tests before someone is let out, but testing avoidance and their quarantine. They cited legal consequences.
Whenever we are asymptomatic and we're healthy with antibodies, tell us when we can leave.
Plus, Epstein says he's getting calls from top universities about those antibodies.
We have to tell them, unfortunately, whenever I'm out of my house, and we think that we are.
Steve Burns, WCBS News Radio 80.
WCBS News Time 6:18. Traffic and weather together, sponsored by Stu Leonard's. Back to Tom Kaminsky.
All right, Michael, we go back over to the Lincoln Tunnel. We had a vehicle fire extinguished and cleared just out of the tube on the Jersey side. So all the travel lanes have at least now been reopened, but still some extra volume there. We've also had everything reopened on the Sawmill Parkway. We had a nasty collision there in the middle of the day, right around the area of McLean Avenue in Yonkers. That's at least now been cleared. Now, we are still very heavy in the Bronx on the westbound cross Bronx. It is all the way over to the GW, onto the upper level of the GW, under the apartments emergency repair work. So we've had delays back from about the Bronx River Parkway on the westbound side of the cross Bronx. It's also heavy up the ramp from the Major Deegan getting to the outbound GWB. But if you can get toward the GWB from either the Harlem River Drive ramp or the West Side Highway ramp, that will be a whole lot better for you. Now, we've had really no delays through Fairfield County on the Connecticut Turnpike or the Merritt Parkway, northbound New York State Thruway. We've had no delays there getting to and across the Cuomo-Tappan Bridge. We do have delays on the New England Thruway. Just as we get in through the New Rochelle area, we're just seeing a collision there, and at least one lane is blocked. It's very heavy both ways, actually, on the New England Thruway up around that area just north of exit 15. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
I want food, and our family's food and wine stores are open 7 days a week, including our new store in Paramus. Stu Leonard's is getting daily deliveries direct from our farmers. Our shelves.
Hey, Craig, but we can't keep it going.
No, we cannot. And it turned into a great day because the morning was a little questionable, showers out there, but it cleared up completely, not just partially, but complete clearing, and we got up close to 70 degrees this afternoon, and the humidity is nice and low as well. But elsewhere, Saturday, early sun, way to clouds to 55, between 50 and 55. Euro connected. 66 now, humidity 19%, and we have a volunteer.
Services is growing. From the partners who manage food issues and help those who are. Many of the projects do allow for social distancing. Bagley says, please help. I think I'd say my biggest message to New Yorkers is get a News Radio 880.
The company that tortured us with baby sharks, encouraging parents to upload the video of their kids on YouTube. It's one of YouTube's top 5 watched videos of all time.
New Jersey.
We know this is a difficult time for all of us, as everyday routines are now turned upside down. All hospitals, including Holy Name, have had to create new procedures and policies for patient care and visiting. Some of these changes may be inconvenient, but this evolving situation demands tolerance and understanding, and it helps to know the facts. Reliable sources of information about COVID-19 include the CDC and Health Department websites, as well as holyname.org/coronavirus. Remember, if you have a fever, cough, or shortness of breath, don't go to your doctor's office or ER before calling first, as you will be given specific instructions to prevent the spread of infection. Please educate yourself about COVID-19. We will get through this together. We always do. This has been a public service announcement from Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey.
It's happening. Wherever cupcakes are being frosted, songs are being recorded, and engines are being tuned, ADP is designing a than any other agency.
Okay, folks, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Want to give you a quick reminder here to join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern for our Las Vegas webinar. And Sunday we're going to do a very special Best of the Coronavirus and the Commute webinar. It'll feature some of our favorite moments from the past week driving around New York City. And we will leave you with this tour of downtown Fishkill.